the next man. Move on.
Good evening, everybody. It is now established this is indeed the dirtiest presidential campaign in modern history, and it is getting dirtier by the day. The national liberal media, the Republican establishment crowd, are almost as frantic and determined as the Clinton campaign to attack and undercut the candidacy of Donald Trump in this historic election. No matter your age, no matter the depth of your reading of history, there's never been a campaign for the presidency the likes of this. Whether it's the sudden charges of decade-old unprecedented pawing by a one-day presidential hopeful and historic charges of cross-armrest grasping, or the work of WikiLeaks and honoring the American public's right to know, releasing tens of thousands of emails that the other presidential hopeful has tried her very best to bury, and to bury deeply. The hopeful whose entire campaign has been built on lies, deceit, and fear. It is that kind of history that is now in the making that we now witness, and none of it, I'm sure you would agree, has been pretty. Donald Trump today campaigning in North Carolina. He's focused on a national liberal media that has forsworn every professional precept of objectivity and detachment, and has now fully and completely embraced without shame or reservation Hillary Clinton as their preferred president to be.
No paper is more corrupt than the failing New York Times. The good news, it is failing. It won't be around too much longer, but they are really, really bad people. As you have seen, right now I am being viciously attacked with lies and smears. It's a phony deal. I have no idea who these women are. I have no idea. I have no idea.
And it could not be more clear that the media is obsessed with Trump's scandals and trying to bury Hillary Clinton's scandals. The Big Three Network newscast today all spent between 7 to 9 minutes covering sexual impropriety allegations against Trump, and no more than 1 minute at most covering the WikiLeaks' massive and numerous revelations about the scandals of Hillary Clinton. There is no question of the national media's shameless insistence on Clinton as their preference to be president. But the alternative left WikiLeaks today, well, it has other ideas, seemingly the only outlet capable of breaking down the Clinton cartel's stone wall, and yes, also its various firewalls. Today, releasing their 7th batch of emails, revealing emails, disturbing emails from the Clinton campaign chairman, John Podesta, bringing, by the way, the total to more than 11,000 emails released just since last Friday. Today's round shows the Clinton campaign conspiring to protect emails between Hillary Clinton and President Obama. Back on March 4th, 2015, Podesta wrote Mrs. Clinton's attorney, Cheryl Mills, quote, "Think we should hold emails to and from POTUS? That's the heart of his exec privilege. We could get them to ask for that. They may not care, but seems like they will." Just the day before, congressional Republicans had subpoenaed Clinton to turn over all her emails. And just 3 weeks after that subpoena, the Clinton campaign used BleachBit to delete and destroy more than 33,000 Clinton emails. Donald Trump today insisted Hillary's actions were criminal.
Hillary bleached and deleted 33,000 emails after a congressional subpoena. She got a subpoena from Congress. And she said, this is no good. This is terrible. Because those 33,000 emails had bad stuff. And then she made everybody get rid of iPhones, her iPhones. And some were hammered. They were hammered to death. All to cover up her crimes.
This has become a consummate battle between the establishment, political and media elites, and our middle class working men and women, their families, and small business and entrepreneurs. WikiLeaks revelations make it all too clear that Clinton looks at American society, at us, as a caste system. the privileged and oh so enlightened social engineers of the left, free of national responsibility and our laws and rules. The rest of us to be, as a number of Clinton campaign emails make clear, kept ignorant and compliant at any cost. We'll be taking up the mounting evidence against the Clinton cartel and Mrs. Clinton. We'll also be taking you to Charlotte, North Carolina, where Donald Trump tonight is holding a rally. We'll bring you that when Trump takes the stage. We're looking here at his earlier rally today. Some of our favorite politicos are with us tonight. The Weekly Standard's Fred Barnes, best-selling author of Clinton Inc., Daniel Hopper, and the Washington Times outstanding columnist Charlie Hurt. Our top story, WikiLeaks exposing more Clinton scandals, the evidence against Mrs. Clinton mounting daily. The cumulative weight of her scandals and these controversies are now near, if not at, the point of critical mass, a tipping point, if you will. The corruption of the Clinton cartel, so powerfully obvious that even the left-wing national media is beginning to take some notice. Adding to it all, a new WikiLeaks document dumped today, containing a scathing report on the Clinton Foundation. Back in 2010, a law firm conducted an independent review that concluded the tax-exempt public foundation had none of the independent oversight required under federal charity law, concluding, quote, some interviewees reported conflicts of those raising funds or donors, some of whom may have an expectation of quid pro quo benefits in return for gifts. That at the heart of the scandal. Emails also showing Clinton allies in 2008, probing now President Obama's vulnerabilities. A negative fax memo states this, quote, Obama's father was a Muslim, and Obama grew up among Muslims in the world's most populous Islamic country. Another email also details the speech Clinton made to General Electric. Clinton argued how expanding the food stamp program is essential to fueling economic growth, and emails detailing the Clinton campaign's early plan for handling Bill Clinton's sex scandals. The strategy? To simply brush it aside by saying, quote, all of this was fought out in the 90s, a strategy that obviously has not worked. Joining me now, executive editor of the Weekly Standard, Fox News contributor, Fred Barnes. Fred, good to see you. These documents are being ignored by not only the left-wing national media, but much of the conservative media in the country, and it alarmingly so, don't you think?
Well, I think that's a mistake to the extent that's happening. WikiLeaks, as I think you suggested earlier, Lou, is one thing that can break through, at least somewhat, break through this wall of that surround the media wall that surrounds and protects Hillary Clinton. But there's just so much stuff. You mentioned a good bit of it. You know, it was the one that alarmed me the most, that I thought was the most, the worst of all, was the Clinton campaign, in order to protect Hillary Clinton, some emails between her and the president, got the president to claim executive privilege over these things. Now, they had nothing to do with national security or great domestic issues. They had everything to do with politics.
And it sort of flies in the face, too, doesn't it, of yoga and grandchildren and that sort of thing?
Well, that too, of course.
I mean, to bring it under the umbrella of executive privilege is a little bit contradictory, I would think.
It's an abuse of power.
It's an abuse of power. I mean, that's clear throughout each one of these dumps. And the relationship, what bothers me, I think, more than that even, Fred, is the collusion among the White House, the Justice Department, the State Department, which takes on the air of a retained Clinton fiefdom, and the Clinton Foundation and campaign. This is extraordinary. It is collusion. It is suffocating corruption, to me, at its worst. What do you think?
Okay, Well, it wasn't a revelation to find out from this law firm that investigated the Clinton Foundation that the big donors expect benefits from giving money to the Clinton Foundation. And sure enough, we know that they do get benefits, whether it's visiting with the Secretary of State.
Peter Schweizer has made that clear in his reporting and others, but to see this validation in the documents and internal communications of the Clinton cartel to cover broadly all of these areas is extraordinary, and yet we have the additional development in which FBI agents are now coming out saying almost unanimously amongst something toward 150 agents, they fully expected and desired that the director of the FBI recommend prosecution. And the morale, we are told, convincingly by a number of our sources in the FBI, has plummeted. The anger is extraordinary toward the FBI director, who these agents believe has let them down and dishonored this great institution, the Federal Bureau of Investigation.
Well, we're one step away, Lou, from what I think would just break that whole thing wide open, and that is to have some people from the FBI and the Justice Department to resign on grounds of principle, and then say what happened and speak publicly on your show and elsewhere, and say that, look, this was wrongly decided. Hillary Clinton committed clear crimes, and she should have been prosecuted, and it shouldn't have been whitewashed.
Fox News has received exactly that communication from sources that we are honor-bound not to reveal on condition of anonymity. What is extraordinary to me, too, is that there is no shame on the part of this president, his attorney general. By the way, she has gone radio silent. Loretta Lynch is not being seen anywhere. We are not seeing demonstrations by Black Lives Matter, illegal immigrant organizations, anarchists, whomever. This is an extraordinary moment. And by the way, going radio silent, also Hillary Clinton, and in her place on the campaign trail is primarily the President of the United States. It's an extraordinary period in history. I don't remember this ever happening with any presidential candidate. Do you?
Not even close.
Yeah.
And certainly an incumbent president going out and campaigning like this. Look, I've only been covering presidential campaigns going back to 1976, and I've never seen anything like that or heard about it any other time. It is amazing. I mean, but look, Barack Obama has a lot riding on this election. He wants Hillary Clinton to be elected so she will protect Obamacare. And
it's too late. I mean, Obamacare is dead. I mean, irrespective of what the Republicans want to do or whoever is elected, Obamacare is dead.
Well, it'll be deader. It'll be immediately dead if Donald Trump's elected. There will be